Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set, ready. Get to Pittsburgh. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Tight right, tight right. 4
And
down, 11.
he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Grant. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check three. Hey, 31.
Watson now to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. From the 50, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, here's Trevor Daniel. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Go, go. Backer, check the backer.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Let's go, folks.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
No. Me.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run on second down with Cohen. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when
and he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Mike 50, Mike 50. 6 man.
looking to throw on second down. Watson, and he's going to go down again. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Third and long, it's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's downed inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 6-yard line.
4 down, 4 down.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 10.
Hey, check 24, check 24. Hayward.
Back to throw. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Texans push further out in front. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
First carry for James Conner. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Here we go.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A first throw for the backup Foles. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe. That might.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. This is Miller, and he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 40-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Hilliard. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll get him down up past the 15. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands. They're
going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down. Foles now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Here's Foles. Gets this to his running back, Torrey Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
That's good for another Jacksonville 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Hayden Cole. Hey, someone.
Foles. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam. First down, a run with Cohen. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Foles. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On first down, Cohen. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Foles. That is caught by Cohen. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. The open man is Westbrook. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Back to throw, Watson. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 21. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it. and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Miller. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Come on, let's go.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. He's got a man, complete. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the score. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Reset. Play take. Check, 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 check. Double tight, double tight. Double tight. 3 out, 3 out.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he is out of bounds here on the return. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go play action here on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Let's go, baby.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Steps away to his left. Completes it to Lee. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. 2nd and 6. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Texans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Lonnie Johnson picks it. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really